I'm going to show you exactly why you should never break your trading rules, because this morning I broke my trading rules and you are going to see exactly what happened. So, going to 15-minute time frame for the trade recap for the day. As you can see, I had this big win, but we will go over that in a little bit. I did take 3 trades today, and with me being on Take Profit Trader now, being funded with that, I am only risking 7,500, so 0.75% because of the trailing drawdown. So my profits and losses will be a lot less for the meantime until I can make up that buffer or blow it, but we're not going to go there. But looking at the 15-minute time frame, before market open, I will mark out market open for you guys at this dotted vertical line is market open. But before that, we could have gone lower and taken a sweep, or we could have gone higher to all-time highs and taken a sweep. Lower, we could have taken, let me put this out of the way, we could have taken this low, or even come down to the week opening gap down here and take out that. Obviously, on the week, we want to target this draw on liquidity because it is the biggest draw on liquidity, the week open gap. So based off of structure today, it was not looking like we were going to go down, but maybe tomorrow and pre-market will go more down here. So then at market open, that can be the draw on liquidity and go higher, or who knows. But that's a day for tomorrow, and we're just going to have to react to the market then. But for today, we were sitting in this zone over here. So for a draw and a bias, we were kind of just waiting for price to either take out these lows or the all-time highs and see where it wanted to go, see how it reacted to that liquidity and go from there. So if it went lower and respected the liquidity, we would be bullish. If it went higher and respected the liquidity, we would be bearish. Or if it goes lower or higher and just blows through the liquidities, then that would be the daily bias on the day. So keeping that in mind, going down to the 1 minute, looking for entries, we had, one more thing before we actually get into the entries. Overall, because I was waiting for it to react, I was bearish based off of pre-market. Pre-market, we had this big inverse fair value gap. And then at 7:30 in the 15-minute candle, we came in, tapped into the inverse fair value gap, and then went higher up here and broke through these highs. Wow, that is really, really laggy. We broke through these highs up here. Hopefully it's better now. No, that wouldn't have been a trade entry. Plus, I don't take a trade before market open, but it is a confirmation for it to go higher. So overall, yes, it could have gone lower, but in the end, I thought we were going to take out all-time highs. So I was bullish on the day, looking to target liquidity before it took out those highs. But down to the 1 minute now, there was no true trade entry. So it kind of just took out all-time highs up here, and there was no true entry for me to enter for a good risk-to-reward ratio. So I didn't take it, and I was just waiting for it to go past all-time highs and see how it reacted to that. So as you can see, it didn't quite react to all-time highs whatsoever for the first little bit. But then I was like, okay, NQ is at all-time highs. Let's go to ES, see what that's doing. So going to ES, right? We aren't even close to all-time highs. All-time highs are at this level up here, and at market open, we were over here and targeting these highs up here for a manipulation or a sweep to go lower or blow through it to go higher. But I also thought, because we took out this low at market open and went higher, I thought, okay, maybe on ES, we're going to target the highs. So this is where I broke my rules. I was looking on ES for trades, and with my rules, I just strictly stick to NQ and strictly take trades on NASDAQ. So today I thought better market structure would be on ES, so I went there to execute on trades. So with all of that being said, let's go down to what I actually did. So now we're on ES, not NQ, because it had better market structure and draws higher versus NQ taking out all-time highs. Theoretically, it could have been a lot better that I did this, but with my rules, it's kind of like a domino effect. If I don't stick to my rules on strictly taking trades on NQ, then that's going to domino effect into taking FOMO or bad executions or just taking bad trades in general and not being disciplined. So that's why it's such a big deal for me. But I did take 2 losses on ES. And yes, I did take 3 trades on the day. One of them was on NQ, but that's for later. But on ES, we had this high, the sweep, the 15-minute high that I was just showing you. We kind of respected it at first, but then we had a manipulation with this wick and then a displacement lower through these candles. So I took a short there. Entry at candle low and manipulation at, or stop loss at manipulation high. And then we were targeting, because overall time frame was bearish, I was just targeting, I believe it was these lows. No, it was the this inverse fair value gap high. This inverse fair value gap. I was targeting the highs of that because I thought we were going to come down, respect it, and then go higher. But again, I was bullish on the day for the high time frame. And again, this is where I went wrong. So I already broke my rules of looking for trades on ES instead of NQ. And then I broke my rules of trading against my bias. And this is where I went wrong because overall in the bigger time frame, it was bullish for me. So I should have been looking for longs here. As you can see, that's still wrong. But in this moment, I had a bullish bias looking for longs, but I still took a short thinking and trying to predict the market going all the way down instead of reacting to it. So that's where I went wrong, was just trading against my bias, which again is against my rules, and then trying to predict instead of reacting. I was trying to predict the drawdown instead of just reacting to a displacement higher and targeting liquidity. There was no true liquidity here. That's where I was predicting, and that's where I went wrong. Hope that's easy to understand for you guys. But so then I took shorts. Obviously, I got stopped out pretty quick. And then I was like, okay, that was a stupid mistake. I went against my bias. I know what I did there. So I took longs. I was looking for longs, right? So still on ES, there is this big fair value gap of this big candle right here that pushed higher and stopped me out at first. But then we had a tap into the fair value gap and then a displacement through the series of down close candles highs. We had a displacement through those highs, so I took a long right there. And as you can see, that was not very smart. So let's not learn from that. Let's just learn from the mistakes there. But honestly, I wasn't mad about this trade at all because it was aligned with my bias. I thought it was going to be a continuation trade. The only part that I was mad about is that it was on ES instead of NQ. But stop loss was at the low and targets were at these highs. I was looking for about 1-to-4 risk reward ratio, not quite. But as you can see, again, I got stopped out pretty quick. So then I was like, okay, I know where I went wrong. This is kind of messing with my psychology. Because I de-risked, it wasn't that bad. I was still down $1,500 on the day. I was about to get off, but then I was like, okay, this is a good entry point because it is overall respecting this liquidity sweep on ES. And then I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening right now, But then I was like, okay, no more trades on ES. We're going to stick to our plan and go to NQ. I'm okay with blowing the account of Take Profit Trader because at this point I was basically pretty much one trade away from blowing it because of the trailing drawdown. So I'm like, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. And max trades I'll take. This is a new rule for me. Max trades I'll take on the day is 3 trades per day. And I was at 2 at that point. And I was like, market is still moving. It's very volatile. So I'll take advantage of that, hopefully. Looking for another trade. So going over to NQ, right? So randomly on NQ, I was like, we have this huge downtrend that randomly started, but there's a reason for it because of ES taking that sweep and respecting that. So I was bearish on the day after that. Looking for shorts, we had this wick right here, pretty big wick. I wanted to see how the market respected that, so I had shorts taken, I wanted to take shorts right here at this point, but I didn't know how it would respect this wick because I'm like, this could really be liquidity zone. So I waited. I waited for it to get below these wicks. So you could have said, yes, right here would be a good short opportunity with the highs, tapped into the order block here, right? Getting a little ahead of myself. Tapped into the order block, and then it had a displacement through the lows within 3 candles. So that could have been a short opportunity with it at the highs, stop loss at the highs, and then targeting this wick down here, lows, 401 to 2. But I didn't do that. I was about to enter, and then this first candle came up really quick. So I'm like, okay, are we respecting this as a liquidity and manipulation to go back higher? What is happening there? So I waited. I saw this candle go up higher. I'm like, okay, good thing I didn't enter because that's a manipulation to go higher. But then we had this big candle right here, and it was about to close, and price was about here. So then I pressed the sell button looking for shorts based off of this and just waiting for a better, for more confirmation, and overall happened to be a better entry, but price was about here on the candle when I entered with stops at the high and targeting these lows down here. But where I went wrong, I'm honestly not mad about the late entry because for me, that was good because I needed more confirmation and needed it to be an A+ setup for it to be a good trade and for me to take it with me on the line of blowing my funded that I literally just passed. So that's not good. But I just needed a little bit more confirmation. So I'm not mad about that execution. Plus, I had a better risk to reward because I waited. But the thing that I was upset about is it had a big... Here, I'll remove this out of the way quick. I'll leave it. But we had this big candle going down over here. I'll move it out of the way. We had this huge candle down, and then a couple candles, 3 candles going straight back up. So I'm like, okay, was that a manipulation? Like, what's happening there? And then we were also in the big time frame equilibrium. So this big structure here, take the equilibrium of that, and as you can see, this tapped into equilibrium, and then we had candles going higher. So I'm like, okay, at that point, I had my take profit down here at the wick low, and then, oh my gosh. And then we had it come straight back up. So I'm like, okay, we could be respecting the high time frame equilibrium. So I moved my stop or my take profit to the lows here that they just made. And then I got hit, take profit was hit with these candles down here for a 1 to 1.6 restored ratio. So that I was happy about. But what I was not happy about was that I should have just walked away and put my take profit to the candle low and just let it hit full TP and trust my original analysis. But I didn't, because I was scared and I got anxious and I was not okay with the risk on the table. So that is where I went wrong. That is what I got upset about. And that's something that I need to learn from and literally not just sit there and be on my phone. I need to literally walk away, go eat breakfast, do whatever I need to do, and just let the trade play out. So that's what I need to do there. That was very wrong for me because I did not respect my rules. And eventually, in the end, because I stopped out here instead of here, I could have doubled my profits. But that's something that I just got to learn from and be okay with. But overall, in the end, 1 to about 6 restored ratio, and I went 1 for 3 on the day with about $500 in drawdown. I lost $500 today. So I am still only 2 trades away from blowing my funded account, but that is also because of the trailing drawdown and the stupid rules that they have there. And I hate trailing drawdown, but I should have just let this play out and hit the full take profit, but I didn't. Also, I wanted to move my stop loss because of the trailing drawdown. I was scared of it. I didn't know what I would do. I thought maybe it could come down here, like not quite to TP and go all the way back up to stop loss and completely stop me out of my funded accounts. So I kind of got scared on that, but that's something that I have to learn from in the future. And that's something that you guys should learn from me. But that is pretty much what I got for the trade recap on the day, the technical analysis. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a better day and in the future, of just staying disciplined to my rules, it's so simple, of just staying on NQ instead of ES and taking trades on NQ, because that is the start of staying disciplined. So if I don't do that, why can I stay disciplined with the rest of my rules? And obviously it showed that I can't. So it starts with one, and then it's a domino effect. If you stay disciplined with one thing, you will for the rest. So just keep that in mind. But that's what I got for the trade recap today. And if you guys are new, we do a verse of the day after every trade recap just to put God as the center in this, because we cannot do this alone in trading, and he should be the main priority in your life. So with that being said, we will go to the verse of the day, and the verse of the day is Philippians 2:5. Philippians 2:5 says, "In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus." So basically, talking to people, have friendships, just showing kindness and love when you talk to people, and living by Jesus' example, and trying, like for us, obviously, because we're not perfect, try not to sin and be aware of that. But mainly just showing love and kindness and being humble the way Jesus did and the way he acted, and living by the fruit of the Spirit within your relationships when talking to people, showing the true love of Christianity and what it's like, and how it has transformed our life, and just being that example for people. But mainly just living by the fruit of the Spirit. And my mom actually has a poster of the fruit of the Spirit, like all of them, and it is patience, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, kindness, gentleness, peace, love, and joy. So if you live by those 9 things, you will be able to bring people to Christ and show them what it's like to live with happiness and how Jesus has changed your life. But just bring that to your relationships and treat people as Jesus treated people when he was alive. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the verse of the day and trade recap. This is the last week of May, so hoping to maximize the profit so I can be in profit on the month, because earlier this month, the first 2 weeks, I was in big drawdown, big losing streaks. So we are just trying to make back that profit and then some, but hopefully we have a big week this week, and I did not trade yesterday because it was Memorial Day and markets were closed. So that is the reason why, but hoping to maximize profits on the week this week. But you guys hopefully learned a lot from me and my mistakes. Otherwise, why would you be watching this? But just learn from my mistakes and maximize your capital, because you should be taking small losses, small wins, and big wins. So I guess that is a plus for today. I did take a small win, but yeah. With all that being said, I will update you guys on the trade recaps for the following days.